Hello, people. Welcome to Conversations with Ayofe, where we talk about wholeness, well being, and the wonders of womanhood. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It would give me great pleasure to have you join this community. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you once again for engaging. I know my voice is horrible today. Yes, because last weekend I was partying away in Sham El Sheikh. Yeah. It was my sister in law's 40th birthday. It was awesome. I had an amazing time. And now I'm paying the price. And I really don't mind because it was worth it. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. Trust me to share photos and videos with you. Not today, though. I'm still putting them together, so that I can give you the very best. But just take this one, hold body until the main video comes out, okay? Hallelujah! But for today, let's go to the matter. Yeah, let's go to the matter of the day. So, 2 videos ago, we talked about enabler versus supporter. And based on the comments, as well as some conversations I've had with people off camera, I thought it would be worthwhile to do a part 2. So this is it. So there are many faces to being an enabler, to be honest, because in that video, I focused on an enabler from the point of maybe supporting your spouse financially, even when they are not doing what they should, meaning, in my opinion, the primary provider is not providing like they should. And then you just enable that behavior, help them to get comfortable in that role of not providing, not going out to hustle or do the things that they need to do to be able to provide for their family. So that was my area of focus. But there are many faces to being an enabler, like I said, because even as parents, some of us enable our children. As mothers, sometimes we pick up after our children so much that we help them, we enable them into becoming irresponsible adults, especially the boys. Pick up after them, do everything for them, and then they grow up, get married, and expect this trend to continue. And then if they marry a woman who is not having that, it becomes an issue. Conflict begins in their marriage, they start to have friction because the woman refuses to pick up after them or refuses to do everything for them just because they had a mother who was an enabler or a father who was an enabler and did everything for them. I think that as parents, we need to look beyond today. Sometimes, in loving our children, we do them a disservice, because when you support a person or when you help them, what you should actually be doing is put structures in place to help them to become better people tomorrow. And if all we're doing is doing the things that our children should actually be doing, or not giving them a chance to learn the skills that they need to become better people or to become responsible adults, we're doing them a disservice. I remember that years back, sometimes maybe when I would tell my daughter to do the dishes or clean the kitchen, and she starts to do it, then she's taking her time. You know how these children can be. She's taking her time. After a while, I'll get frustrated. I'm like, oh, yeah, 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 get out of there, get out of there. And then I'll take it over and do it. It took me a while to realize that I wasn't helping her. And at that point, I told myself, you know what? Even if it means you're going to do it 20 times, you will do it and you will get it right. And from then on, things became better for her and for me. Because let's be real, in the end, many of the girls are going to get married and become wives. And many of the husbands are going to get, boys rather, are going to get married and become husbands. And they have to be responsible. But if we have enabled them into a life of shirking their responsibilities, doing all their chores for them, or even rewarding them for what they should actually do, that thing drives me crazy. Because, like, I tell my child to clean their room, and then I tell them that, okay, if you clean your room, you get to play your video game for an extra hour. Where's that coming from? Clean your room, man. It is your responsibility to clean your room. You will not shirk that responsibility. Because if we enable them, they will think that in real life, they should be rewarded for doing the things that they need to do. How many times do you get rewarded in the workplace? Your reward is your salary that you get at the end of the month. Even though, yeah, there are times that you will get an award or be recognized in the workplace, which is all well and good. But the point I'm trying to make is that let's not enable our children into thinking that before they can do what they should do or develop the skills that they need to develop, there must be a price attached to it. There must be a price tag. No way. We're enabling them into becoming irresponsible, entitled adults. Yeah, that's basically what we're doing. In some instances, it's as parents, we enable our children when maybe you're as a mother, you're cooking in the kitchen, and your children, both sons and daughters, even if you have only sons, are in their rooms sleeping, playing video games. No, enabling them into becoming responsible adults. That's what you're doing. If you're working or if you're cooking, your children should join you in the kitchen. Teach them to cook. Help them to develop the skills. In fact, by the time your children are teenagers, they should be cooking for you. Oh yes. They should be cooking for the family. Cooking for their father, cooking for their siblings, or whatever. Cooking their own food. You know, I know that sometimes, yeah, some of us, we're all different, but we need to understand that when we support our children or create, put structures in place for them to become better, what we're doing is preparing them for the future, helping them to develop skills, life skills that would help them in the future. So yes, parents can be enablers sometimes. Also, some of us enable our siblings. Some of us have siblings who are lazy. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to do what they should. They don't want to work. And then they come to you, tell you a sob story. You give them money. Tell you a sob story. You fund their account. Tell you it's not done. We are enabling them to be irresponsible. Every person should develop the skills that they need for life so that in the future they can stand on their own 2 feet. There is a certain confidence that comes with, having resources. Because at the end of the day, when you become responsible, it's either you're earning a good income or you're doing what you should at home as a partner or in the workplace as a staff, whatever. There's a certain confidence that comes with, mastering life skills and not just allowing yourself to be enabled. There was a sad story that a friend of mine shared with me about a friend of hers who, at the time she got married, was in her second year of studying law, and her father-in-law insisted that she had to stop school. And against her father's advice, she stopped going to school, so she never completed her law course. She got married, and some years later, she lost her husband. At the point where her husband passed, she had zero skills, to be able to go out and work. She had zero confidence because she was used to just being a kept woman. Her husband provided everything that she needed. And let's be realistic. For some of us, our spouses will not always be there, even if they can provide. And even if you have funds in the bank, after some time, those funds will get depleted because no amount of money in the bank, there's no amount of money you have in the bank. If you don't add to it, the funds will get depleted over time. She had zero skills to be able to manage her husband's estate. Even I remember my friend said that I think her husband had a shared office, and after her husband passed, his own share of the office, she had no idea what to do with it. She said, well, the partner would take care of it and all that. If only she had developed the skills, if only she hadn't allowed herself to be enabled, if only at the time her husband was alive, she had developed the skills she needed to grow her confidence, the life skills, because basically at the end of the day, we all need to develop these life skills that help us to be able to go out and work, help us to be able to go out and do the things that would put food on our table, clothes on our backs, and a roof over our heads, so to speak. So enablers have many faces. They come in the form of parents, they come in the form of friends. Some of us have friends who month in, month out are coming to borrow money from us, and we keep loaning them that money. We keep loaning them that money. At the end of the day, they will never become better because they know they have that, I call one of my brothers microfinance. They know they have that microfinance to always go back to every month in, month out to borrow money from. We need to help people. We need to actually encourage people to become better rather than encouraging them to depend on us. For some people, it makes us feel good when we enable people. But I mean, I think that's really selfish. And I really think that we need to think beyond ourselves. Some people have had to stay in unhealthy relationships or abusive relationships because they were enabled. You can imagine a woman who, and maybe her husband provides everything, so she doesn't work, she has zero skills, zero confidence. Even if that husband is beating her every day or abusing her emotionally, she will think to herself, where do I go? Where do I start from? Because she doesn't have anything to fall back on. She doesn't have any skills to take out there, no marketable skills to go out and work with. So she stays in that unpleasant, unhealthy relationship. For some of us, it is that we enable people when we don't set boundaries. Someone speaks to you disrespectfully and you take it. No, you need to set boundaries. I'm not saying be quarrelsome. I'm not saying, have arguments, but set boundaries. If people speak to you disrespectfully or people ridicule you, you're not happy with it, set boundaries. Let them know that, look, you can only go so far. You can't go beyond there. If you don't set boundaries, people will treat you anyhow. And if you enable them, they will never change. They will stay with that because they will never see anything wrong with that pattern of behavior. And sometimes we enable people into developing destructive patterns of behaviors. Laziness, irresponsibility, emotional abuse, bad financial management, bad financial planning. We just enable people into becoming the worst versions of themselves. And at the end of the day, we are the ones who suffer. Because whether you like it or not, when you enable, if as a parent, for example, you enable your children and they become irresponsible adults, it comes back to you. When they get married, it is that you didn't train your children well. Or even if they don't get married, they will always come back to you in your old age when you should be resting. You still be taking care of children. No way am I doing that. And no one should. Or if as a sibling, you enable your sibling and you keep having to their bank, their ATM card, and every time they run into a difficult situation, they're the one they come to. The pattern will never change. They will always come to you because that's what they're used to. And then you start to resent them. You start to wonder, why is that you keep coming back? But you are the one who enabled them in the first place. Or if as a friend, you are the friend who keeps loaning that friend money and they don't budget, they don't plan, they're always broke, it still comes back to you. Because at the point where you feel like, oh, okay, I'm tired, can you not do something? You've enabled them into believing that you will always be there as their bank, their backup plan. So we need to think about these things. These are hard conversations that we need to have with our children, with our spouses, with our friends, with our partners, the people that matter in our lives, even our parents. Because some of us enable our parents. I've heard stories about people who, their parents have said to them, anywhere you're going to get the money, go and get it. You need to do so and so and so. It's not done. If I can't afford it, I can't enable you. I will take care of you as my parents, but I will not enable you into bad behavior. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Let me know what you guys think in your comments. Drop your comments regarding this enabler conversation. What do you think? Do you know anyone who's enabling anyone or anyone who is enabled? Please advise them. They need to borrow themselves sense so that if, circumstances change, they can move forward in life. They can adapt to changing circumstances in life. They won't be stuck in a rut just because they've been enabled, or lack confidence just because they've been enabled, or not have been able to develop the life skills that they need to be able to do what they need to do, the needful, when the time comes or if the need arises. So yeah, that's it for today. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. It's bye for now.